Exactly. Hi, I'm Ms. Nickerson.
I'm Mr. Radford.
Welcome to the Viking Science Academy, and today we're talking about protista and algae. So, what are protista?
These are pretty awesome
I think they are
organisms.
too.
They're some of my
Me too.
favorites. These are things that we'll get to see in pond water, and we're moving from bacteria and viruses, and now we actually get to see and observe these things. They're big enough to see.
They're some of the first eukaryotes.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the origins of life being prokaryotic, well, protista is some of the most simplest original eukaryotic cells. And they can be unicellular or multicellular. That kind of went quickly on the page there. Where do they live?
On land, in water. Okay.
They come in lots of different shapes and sizes, and they're fun to watch under the water.
Yeah.
I've got a slow PowerPoint today. It's kind of like cake here. There we go. Some of them are heterotrophic, so they have to go find their food. Some of them are parasitic, and a few of them are autotrophs too.
Yes.
Which are my favorites. I tell them you'd never be hungry. You're autotrophic and heterotrophic.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So they're considered like an animal, but they're not an animal. And
Protozoans. So they're based on basically how they move around.
So we have cilia, which is many small hairs moving together. Flagella, whip-like tails. Pseudopodia, which is like jelly, like a amoeba, or none. They just kind of go with the current. Yep. So some examples of ciliates: Paramecium, Vorticella, and oftentimes they have kind of grooves where they can sweep food into their mouth. Then we have, which we'll hopefully see some paramecium in the microscopes. What about the flagellates?
Flagellates, they use that whip-like tail to get around. Yeah, that's how we distinguish these.
A lot of these cause diseases,
Yes.
So here is a picture of some red blood cells, and here you can see them swimming around inside your blood. So you can get them from water or anything else. My favorite protista, Euglena. They can photosynthesize and hunt food. Never hungry.
That would be nice.
That's awesome. All right, what about pseudopods?
Pseudopods, the false foot. So they kind of squeeze their bodies and stretch out, and then they attach it, kind of keep moving, and that's how they...
Their inside kind of streams, and then they wrap around their food and
engulf it. Yeah.
Sporozoa.
Laura Nickerson to the main office, please. Laura Nickerson to the main office.
You have to wait.
So malaria, one of the most contagious diseases in the world. Okay, we thought we eradicated it in the late 70s. Nope. So,
very parasitic, comes from a spore, houses itself in a mosquito, and the mosquito injects it into us.
Needs a host.
Yeah. Now, algae are similar to protozoans, but they're a little bit different. They're plant-like, and so that means they're going to photosynthesize, but they still move slowly, but they do still move. Lots of different shapes. You'll see a lot of them are kind of geometric.
Some of those diatoms are pretty awesome. We'll see those under the microscope too.
Typically, algae are classified by their color or what type of chlorophyll they have in them. So we think green algae are the ancestors of plants, started in the oceans. They can be unicellular or live together in like a colony. This one up at the top here is a colonial algae. A bunch of them living together. And then sometimes they can get out of control.
Yeah, algal blooms. We talk a lot about this in bioinvestigations first semester. So we get this right conditions, temperature goes up, changes, they just go crazy, reproduce very rapidly, and it sucks. When they die, all the decomposers they suck all the oxygen out. That
makes dead zones in the water.
These dead zones, and fish get nasty scarring, and their kidneys get infected. It's just not good.
I think if you fly over Klamath Lake, you can see some areas where we do have algae blooms.
At different times of the year.
And then we kind of have these transitional organisms called fungus-like protists. So they're protozoan-like, but they're also fungus-like. So this is water molds, slime molds. They're heterotrophic. They move really slowly. You have to speed up camera film to see it. We'll watch a couple of these videos in class. You might see these in your garden or someplace where it's really moist. And it looks like just kind of this pile of colorful stuff, but they actually move. It's kind of cool. So there's a wide variety in protista. That's something we want to make sure you understand. Organized by movement and then also by color if we're talking about algae. Most of them are aquatic. Most of them single cells.
Come here.